Mhm.
He says we're live.
I guess who's here?
Is my Arty there?
As soon as you press live.
Arty has to make an appearance.
Say hi, everybody.
Hi, Arty. Hello. Sorry, hold on. Let me go. I don't know why I did that.
He's so funny. He comes running up here like, oh, she said live. You know, maybe we should start there. Does Arty know when we're going live?
Okay.
Does he know people are watching? Oh, and he's coming up for a close-up on this one.
Let me see.
Happy Sunday, everybody, and hello to new people. I always forget we get new subscribers all the time.
Hi, everybody. So we're going to start off with that funny question. Does Arty know when we're going live? Does Arty know when we're going live? Little Arty.
Because he's so funny how he's like nowhere around. All of a sudden, boom, he's right here. Like, oh, I'm ready. I've got the world card on the bottom, like he knows the world is watching.
Hi, Arty. I see your butt. I'm getting
butt.
that he wants to stand out and be recognized. What I'm getting.
Yeah, like there's a little delay, you know, and then we go live and he knows there's people that love him and, you know, this is like karmic destiny and he's steady. He's right there.
It's the Arty show.
What are you getting, Johnny?
Same thing. Strategy. Manipulation too. Little magician work.
Oh, Autumn's here. Hi, Autumn. Hi,
Hey,
everyone.
Autumn.
So, yeah.
Orange in the house.
How many?
Black and orange in the house.
Yeah, everybody say hello to Autumn. So thank you guys for joining us this evening. I think we're going to go ahead and jump right in because we got quite a few questions and we were probably going to divert. One question leads to another, and you know how we do. So did you want to start with Ratcliffe, Jenny?
Yeah, my friend Beth gave me this question, and then some people also posted it in the on the community tab. The Director of National Intelligence, Ratcliffe, he is no longer giving in-person briefings, so Congress cannot ask him questions and probe deeper. He is only going to give intel briefings now in writing. So Congress can either subpoena him, jail him, or they can just complain about it and do nothing. What are they going to do?
Let's see.
Your spot's over, Arty. Come on now.
Arty wants to read. He's like, Mama, I know. So the question was, what is Congress going to do about Ratcliffe?
Uh-huh.
What is the Congress going to do about Ratcliffe?
Adam's just pissed off, but they're not saying what they're going to do yet. Thank you, Suzanne.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Arty's a star. Don't tell him.
He knows. I'm going to get him a little like hat, and every time for the Sunday show. So every time we go Sundays, because he knows when we go live, he can wear his little hat and make an appearance, and a bow tie too, Jenny, and a bow tie.
You got to have ear holes for the cat ears. Ooh, I kind of think they might take an action against him. What are y'all getting?
Same thing.
Yeah, who wants to go first?
I got my Queen of Swords on the bottom, like legal action here. There's going to be some illumination, yeah, because they want to be able to ask him questions. That's their challenge, to ask questions. And it looks like they're going to do something surprising about this. That's a little bit sneaky because they're standing on higher ground. I get they take a legal action. They might jail him for his treachery. He's gonna lose this, and then I get somebody walking away. So, thank you. Well, who was that?
Oh, I don't know. Thank you for the super chat.
Pig and Lou.
Thank you.
Somebody might walk away. Ratcliffe might walk away from this. Power's in the government. Power's in the Congress. They're going to seek cooperation from him. What are y'all getting?
I got there is manipulation around the new action, magician, ace of wands. There is also his job about security of the nation. That's my third card, Queen of Pentacles. And it does end in the Three of Wands. I clarified it with the Hermit. So there might be a probe first, and you know how they do with that. It takes a month and a half to do the thing. But there is some action that follows with the Ten of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles. There might be a, not subpoena, what do you call it? Like maybe a fine and hold them in contempt, something of that nature. But there is an action that is going to be taken, but it's they'll slow walk it at first because they have to launch some sort of probe. But yeah, they'll take an action at least.
So let me see. I'm gonna bring you guys down so you can see what I got. So I have the anchor, the stars, the whip, the birds, clover, crossroads, and snake. What were you saying, Jenny? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I was just about to say for our viewers, the main thing he's been giving intelligence briefings on is election, like corruption or problems or issues. So
that's what this spread ends in. Opportunities for the elections, and then there's problems and falsehoods and lies, betrayals. The central card in this reading is the birds. So that's like hearings, talkings, interviews, negotiations, phone calls. There's something that's going to be a little bit slow because the anchor's there. And then there's going to be like widespread arguing, and you may hear more and more, perhaps in the media, about criticizing him. Also with the birds in the middle. I don't know if this is in regards to whistleblowers or several whistleblowers in regards to what he's doing there, but there's something around the election that he's taking an opportunity to like lie about, falsify, problems about it. It's almost like he's taking a gamble, depending on which way the coin, when you toss a coin, depending on which way it turns, and then problems and lies here for the election. So, but there's internet stuff here too with the stars, something on the internet, online, technology, and abuse.
So propaganda, manipulations and stuff. Thank you, Desiree.
Thank you. We were just reading on Ratcliffe just now for the person that was asking. So what else you got, Jenny? Jenny?
Why does the RNC not have a platform? You know, all their speeches, it was just fear mongering and lies about what the Dems are going to do to you. And, you know, like Dems are going to raise your taxes. No, that was you guys. You lowered it for the wealthy and raised it for everybody else. Why do they not have a platform?
I think the most hilarious one was Don Jr.'s girlfriend. I mean, dear Lord. Dear Lord.
Whatever her name is.
Why do the Republicans not have a platform?
Johnny, somebody's saying that you're a little bit hard of hearing. I know you can't move a microphone. And you guys, he's still waiting on his computer equipment to get delivered. So he doesn't have his big mic he usually has. So you may have to just speak up a little bit louder for everybody.
That's probably because the microphone is on the bottom of this phone, and the phone is on the touch of the table. So it's probably covered up.
Yeah, he's using his phone, guys. He's not on his usual computer.
Let's see if this will.
Hopefully he gets his stuff this week. So why do they not have a platform? I mean, how are they going to debate Biden and Kamala if they don't have a platform to debate on?
Simple, Jenny. The boogeyman. The boogeyman's coming. The boogeyman. And then all of a sudden, the caravan is going to reappear. That's what's going to happen.
What are you guys getting?
I get it is okay for here in the past. I get the King of Swords, Ace of Swords, Five of Cups, Ten of Wands. He was burdened, or the platform originally would have just been, the Republican mantras of taxes and government and keep us out of your business, blah, the regular stuff. But he sort of threw a wrench in the system here with the 10 of Wands. And so they have to sort of change who they were around him since he was their guy. But here I got Seven of Swords and the Hierophant, the strategy to keep the government. And they don't really need one because I get the Knight of Pentacles and the Justice. The Death card, the Page of Wands. The message has changed because of Trump, but all they need is to hold on to their position. Therefore, they already have the base, and there is no need to convince them of anything else. Because remind you, his only platform in the beginning was, I'm going to build a wall and force another country to pay for it. So that's why they voted for him in the beginning. That part is gone because there is no wall. They took all the money, so forth and so forth. Now they already got the base, so all they really need to do is just throw out the red meat and put flags on the truck and tear down the street. So they don't need a platform. They already got them.
Yeah, I get, it's about image here and also the steady money. I've got the big donor card on the bottom here, so it's about money. They're stuck. Their challenge is to come up with a new message, a new platform that could help Trump get elected, because they don't want to say what he wants to do, because they know that they would lose and everybody would walk away from them if they said what he's going to do. So it's a manipulation ploy to their base, and there's too much treachery they want to do. Their platform is to create anxiety in America. And thank you to Julie.
Thank you. So I'm going to bring you guys down. Can you please tell me if you can still hear me? Because I know I get muddled a lot. Okay, so I have the sun, the rider, the stars, the tree, the dog, the bouquet, and the crossroads. It's looking like there was an insurgence that was successful and then became deeply rooted. That insurgence may have had something to do with perhaps celebrity loyalists. So, and here we have news, Fox News. So perhaps something to do here with the propaganda being pushed on Fox News, and the people that support the party are deeply rooted. And they're happy with the way that things are. However, there's a split here. There's a split in the party ultimately. So it's kind of like, well, our winning tickets are with the crazies that have been radicalized by Fox News and Sean Hannity and Laura Ingraham and all those people. If we really say what we want to say, we're not going to win because we're split. So because of that insurgence that came in with the help of celebrity friends, that is deeply rooted. So that's what I'm getting.
I mean, it was crazy that they've learned how to just boldface lie from Trump, so they're just doing that. So the cocaine convention, as they called it, the RNC convention, where everybody looked like they were hyped up on cocaine. Was there drug use going on behind the scenes?
Oh, God, Jenny, I got to show you the picture. Oh, did I delete it? I think I did. Oh, darn it.
Johnie, are you using your new deck that has the Trump as the fool card in it?
No, it hasn't been. I just found it yesterday. It hasn't been delivered.
Oh, okay.
This is what was trending about the RNC, the cocaine convention. Little Kermit doing lines. Oh my God.
Johnny's got a new deck coming for our viewers that has the full card as Trump, and it's like an extra card in the deck. So I'm like, oh, he's going to have two full cards, so you can have full junior and full.
It's supposed to be a deck based off the coronavirus, and it's very poignant for these times.
So was there cocaine use or drug use going on behind the scenes and all the rantings and ravings and, don't cry for me, Argentina, Guilfoyle and
the best is yet to come. It's like, you want a Snickers? Like, calm down.
I'm first generation, U.S. citizen. Hello, Puerto Rico is part of the U.S. So no, you were already a U.S. citizen.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You're not an immigrant, madam.
Oh man.
I can't make this stuff up. I only watched it on Twitter because it was like, there's no way I'm watching it in person and giving him ratings. No. I was watching clips on Twitter. I was like, oh my gosh.
Was there, you know what? I got a question after this. Was there drug use at the RNC convention? Were people doing drugs? They were over there like Tyrone Biggums. For all you that watch Dave Chappelle, you know who I'm talking about. You got any more of that crack? Like this? Got any more of that crack? Yes, from family members.
Yep.
Family members that were doing the white stuff that was kind of pure, and there's the family. So yes.
Then thank you, Dancing Diva.
Thank you.
Yeah, I get victory on that. The person in the White House and the others all erratic here, and America saw it. There's some airborne things. Some airborne things here, and look at these yes cards. Like, bam, and then they got out there and did their speeches. The messenger. What are you getting, Johnny?
I get there was the need for uppers. Like I get the Four of Swords. So it's like before show or before somebody said go on stage or whatever it was, they needed a pick me up. It started with a woman. There's a man here as well, but there was a lot of it with the Nine of Pentacles. Like there was
like piles and mountains of it. They were buried.
A lot, like somebody had a bag of it, like your suitcase type bag, duffel bag.
Well, not only did they break the Hatch Act, they broke a few other federal laws.
Like it just reminds me of that movie. What was it that was filmed in Miami in the 80s? The drug movie. Do you know which one I'm talking about? About the cocaine in Miami. It had that one actor in it. He's much older now. You dirty cockroaches, like that guy. I can't. Scarface. When Scarface is sitting there all and he's got like a mountain of cocaine. That was done. So I got a question. There's been a couple of articles. I think it was on the New York Times and a couple of other places. Supposedly, an insider that talks to Junior all the time was saying that that Junior's kind of freaked out because he sees his dad losing, and he's freaked out because he knows if Daddy loses, they all go into jail. So my question is, since Tiffany whatever her name is, Guilfoyle, whatever, is she gonna dump him if he goes and gets sent to jail? Because I mean, girlfriends like, she's hustling some money,
She's being paid by the campaign now. Doesn't she work for the campaign now?
Yep.
Yes, she does. Both of the wives do. Eric's wife does too.
Well, she's not even the wife. She's just the girlfriend. Eric's wife that he didn't even know what her name was, Laura.
Oh Lord, can you imagine the family reunions there or the holiday? Oh,
so is Guilfoyle gonna drop Junior
if he goes to jail?
If he goes to jail,
I thought they were engaged, but
I got the sneaking away card on the bottom. Woo! I just disappear.
It's gonna be ass and elbows, Jenny. Ass and elbows.
As fast as I can with whatever I can carry. It's like if I have to drop a few swords on the way, I'll carry whatever I can and get out of here.
Well, she dropped Donald Trump Jr.
I get that she starts with the 8 of Swords and the 6 of Wands. Like, stand by your man. She's very, that's what she's going to portray. And then I get 10 of Swords and 10 of Cups. So there will be an ending to the harmony family unit. The Lovers is here in the fear right across from the 10 of Swords. So there you go. But once her perspective changes and then the imbalance sets in, then she is going to, the card says something shady way. So she is going to try to sneak away as fast as she can. Because this is, and I clarified it. I got the Page of Swords, which is behavioral issues. It's bad news.
Something shady way. What a street name, a boulevard name. Yeah, I guess she's hanging on because that was the plan for them for her to just wait and be patient. But she's burdened by his going away, and there's treachery coming for her. Things change for her. She starts having to get, in defense mode, like, what did you know and when? And then she's like, I am out of here, as you say, ass and elbows.
I'm getting the same thing. She flies the coop. She flies the coop. Eventually she leaves. Right now she's doing it for celebrity and her own ambitions. But eventually when the shit hits the fan, ass and elbows. See ya. So.
Okay. So Melania Trump wears the most military-looking uniform for her speech. I mean, on Twitter, they were comparing it to Hitler's uniform, just same exact cut as Hitler's uniform. I thought she looked very Russian mafia kind of, Russian military, or pardon me. Was that intentional to wear that outfit of all outfits? Like the I don't really care jacket was pretty intentional when she went down to the border. Was that intentional to give that appearance? Like a dictatorship or a banana republic?
She can wear anything in the world. Like, there is no shortage of designers that would love to design a dress for the First Lady. You didn't have to go out there looking like that.
And had to cut all the rose garden trees down so you could see the long walk in her in that outfit. You had to watch her walk forever up to the podium.
There was another clip that I had seen where she was wearing this dress that I swear to God looked like they went back to the 80s to make it. It was like this bright neon green freaking number with a red belt. I was like, oh dear Jesus, is she colorblind? Like, I would fire my stylist so fast.
Just trying to look like Sean Spicer in Dancing with the Stars in his bright pink shirt.
It was horrid.
He's like, that color looked good on me.
Maybe they put her in that number so when she's standing next to Trump, he wouldn't look so radioactive with his new shade of orange. Tone it down.
See, this is the reason I say, because there is a few people out there who, especially if you are an empathic person, you somehow feel bad for Melania Trump. I do not. She is a birther too, not to mention she's a gold digger, and she got herself in this situation. She attached her giddy up to the wrong horse, so you get no sympathy from me. Mm-hmm. But I don't think she fully was in charge of her outfit, but yes, it was worn as a message. Because I don't think she would come up with that. This is something that comes from their low zeitgeist. But there is the Empress and the Magician. So there is the lady and the manipulation. The Emperor is right next to her. And then you get the Temperance, 7 of Pentacles. This comes from somewhere in the campaign. This is who she was working with. It was a message about foreign leadership or foreign dictatorship or authority and power that was supposed to be pushed out to the world. It was not supposed to be overt here with the moon. It was supposed to be a little covert, but it ends in Page of Swords and Three of Swords. Yes, it was done for a sort of jab message, something that was a little treacherous and disgusting. So yes.
Yeah, I get that foreign leader influence too. It's like, you know, here she is kind of transitioning and knows they're on the way out. You know, she's fighting for security. That's her challenge. But yeah, she wanted to come off as an authoritarian. She had lots to choose from. And, you know, the devil made a decision here that she's bound to. So this is a kind of a destiny thing. I get it was premeditated, you know, that she planned on wearing this, and now she's kind of feeling stuck with it. People are arguing about it, but yeah, that's my yes card. Yes, it was planned, it was premeditated, it was to send a message of authoritarianism.
I'm getting a yes. There's something here about a contract, a commitment, a promise of some sort that brings problems. Big treachery, lies, betrayals, that was televised.
That would be her license.
Yeah. Yep. Ay, Dios mío. So, can I ask a question since we're on Melania, Jenny? If you don't mind. So there's this whole thing going on right now with the friend of Melania's that's writing that book, and supposedly she has tapes of Melania trash talking Trump and the kids and everybody. And in that book, they're alleging that her and Ivanka like hate each other. Well, at the RNC convention this weekend, there was one clip where she's standing there, she's all, and Melania walks by and then she's like, the look it's on replay everywhere. It's like, you know, it's like there's so much hatred for her, she can't even hide it from, you know. So my question is, what can we expect from the Melania and Ivanka saga? Like
in this book?
Yeah.
What bombshells are gonna drop?
It's like as the world turns.
Mm-hmm. What can we expect from the Melania and Ivanka saga?
It's like Real Housewives of Orange County in the White House.
Except for criminals. That's the thing. Except for all criminals.
Housewives of the Big House.
Thank you, Peggy Jean.
Thank you, Peggy.
Can you imagine when they're in jail together that, you know, in the courtyard when they get their little walks outside?
Make them cellmates too. Make them cellmates too, both of them. Mm-hmm.
So let's see.
What happens with the Melania Trump and Ivanka Trump saga?
There is some blame coming from some revelations about the White House, or possibly some fallout from the White House. There is also some new actions that are going to be taken against one woman, but it is going to be informational. So there might be a book or a tweet or some sort of message that's put out about a woman. I don't know which one it is, but there's a woman there. There's also something about wills or inheritance or some sort of documented money. So it could be in property or it could be in whatever, but it's documented, so it's on paper that somebody's name is on it too. So there's going to be a bit of a kerfuffle about that. There's also going to be more information about the dislike they have for each other, Page of Swords, Three of Swords. This is definitely going to come from the Ivanka side, and she is, or at the very least, somebody's going to write an editorial about how much Ivanka hates Melania or something of that nature, but it's going to come from her side about how she's not like the mother. There's also time shared between the two and Trump in the middle that is going to come under scrutiny for some reason or another. I don't know if he spends more time with Ivanka than he does Melania, so that's going to be a thing too. Well, that's what I get.
I get there's something that they walked away from each other on that was very surprising, like where their rift began, that there's going to be major illumination on. There's some sort of betrayal to a marriage that will have a lot of people asking questions. Some sort of betrayal with one of the spouses, probably. I get something that Melania was trying to break up and trying to see a completion here. So maybe she was trying to break Jared and Ivanka up. And then a commitment to work together, but one of them bullies the other one. Thank you, Pam.
I'm getting something interesting here. So I have the mountain, the scythe, the coffin, storks, crossroads, tree, and heart. There's a huge problem here, like a mountain of problems that cannot be resolved at all. There's danger there, and then it comes to an end. There's something to do here. There was something in the past, maybe some danger, some anger, because I don't have the ring here, but it's almost like there was a big problem, a sudden separation, and then something ended. And then there was a resurrection due to someone being, what's the word I'm looking for? Non-committal, playing the field. So perhaps something there because she was the one that broke apart the marriage. You know, Melania was. She was the mistress turned wife. But there's also something there about something around someone that's on a series of prescription drugs with these two on the daily. So I don't know if that would be Ivanka or Melania, but there's something in that book about someone being, I don't want to say addicted because it's not here, but it's almost like it's a daily thing. Prescription drugs, daily.
If you had to deal with 45 or Kushner, you'd probably need a daily dose of something.
Yeah. But that's what I'm getting on the saga. So,
What other questions you got?
let's see. So this one is from Mr. Brandon. I'm sorry, I'm probably going to butcher your name, Minyard, whose birthday is in a couple days. So everybody, please say happy birthday to Brandon.
Happy birthday, Brandon.
Happy birthday, Brandon. And he had a question. He wanted to know if the current polls are correct.
They keep going up and down, up and down. Like I expected them to drop after the convention, but Trump actually rose up a little bit after the convention.
Mm-hmm. The current polls correct. Oh, Lori's here. Hi, Lori. Lori's with the way of positive change.
I'm getting something's blocked in the polls. Some people are blocked from communicating. It's like to image build because Trump's coming to an end. So like trying to build up his image. I'm getting there not correct. I get a no card.
Mm-hmm.
They're manipulated somehow, like fudged. They're fudged out.
What are you getting, Johnie?
Well, I always get the same thing with this, and maybe I'm just projecting, but I always say the same thing. 70% of all statistics are made up, including the one that I just made up. Polls are manipulated for the purpose of the story. You can find a poll that says anything. There are 40,000 people that die every year because they are left-handed and they use products that are made for right-handed people. I read that somewhere. I'm pretty sure that that's not true. Like every 9 seconds, somebody dies of this, and every 8 seconds. At the end of the day, we should all be dead if that were true. So it's manipulation by a crowd to gain perspective, gain the higher ground, whatever it is that they're talking about. So you can find a poll that says anything. There's a poll out there that says Trump is higher in the polls than Biden. There's one that says Biden is higher than Trump, or one that'll say Kanye is higher than both. There's a poll for everything. So no, it is manipulated. It is stretched for the purpose of their narrative.
Yep. And I had read on this a few weeks ago, and it was like they were blocking the youth. They were only polling like old people. They're blocking the youth. Here, I'm getting it again. There's something that is blocked here from an institution, and then it's being manipulated with the Fox. This is manipulation. So it's no, they're not. There's something there that is being blocked. These two here, with this one and this one, this is more like your unemployment. So that's a huge problem that they're like leaving out here. So I'm getting a no on that one. So Brandon.
Let's take it a step further. Are the news medias and the pollsters, are they deliberately showing him rising up a little in the polls to make sure people get out and vote him out?
Okay.
Are they trying to ensure, because, if Biden keeps showing a 15% lead, people might be basical and say, oh, I don't need to go vote. Biden's got this.
Yeah, you energize and motivate people to
like
fire.
He's not going to be here for 4 more years. I'm going to go vote.
Mm-hmm. Brandon, honey, I understand what you're saying. Everybody that's here in the chat or that will be watching later, get your asses out and vote. I don't care if you got to walk through glass. Get your ass out and vote.
As Glenn Kushner says at the end of every video, vote in numbers too big for them to hijack this election. Voting too big for them to be able to steal the election.
There's a man here whose career it is to manipulate. I asked if they're manipulating the polls. It's telling me there's a man here. This would be like your emotions and then manipulation. A man that's emotionally manipulating someone. I don't know if this is a person that's thought this scheme up, perhaps like a CEO or I don't know. I don't know who this person is, but they're manipulating people's emotions. So perhaps scare people enough to get them out to vote.
Yeah, I get there's a little backstabbing going on. This is premeditated because they want somebody to lose the White House. So they're trying to fire people up with a new action. Like, here's a new poll. Oh, look, Biden's only getting the crumbs and the votes. They're trying to stir up people's judgment to get people to go vote.
Oh, there's Arty talking.
That's your vote. Arty's racing up and down the stairs, and yes, we're talking about you. Here he comes.
Arty's saying, get out to vote, people.
Like, vote this crazy guy out, or you'll have 4 more years of Arty.
We love Arty. What are you getting, Johnie?
Same thing. There's manipulation of emotion. There is the ace, the page of cups, the 9 of cups. So there's your emotional. And then the ace of cups and the 10 of wands. There is a burden is the wrong word, but it's like a load that is placed upon people in order to elicit an action. with the Ace of Wands. It is also a bit of like hypnotizing, a little mind trick with the Five of Cups, because you pay attention more to the Three Cups than you do to the Two. So there is some manipulation in that, and they're really trying to create an imbalance. They're not trying to tell you that Trump's going to win, so they can't give you a poll, or they're not going to give you a poll that says Biden has, that Trump has a 23-point lead or something of that nature. But they're going to make it sound like as though they're neck and neck, to where you need to get everybody that you possibly can to a poll, or whatever it is you need to do. So yeah, there is some manipulation.
Lori was just commenting, Arty has the zoomies. It's like, yeah, not bad for a 15-year-old cat. He's an old man, guys. But he does zoom.
I swear he's like 4. I don't believe it. So, I have another question. Someone wanted to know, will there be indictments for any of Trump's kids coming within the next 5 months? Let's put a timeline on it. And we'll say maybe
like before January.
Yeah.
Before the inauguration day.
Will there be any indictments for any of Trump's kids within the next 5 months?
Are you settling down? He's trying to.
My little boyfriend.
I get one, so I'm going to call it Don Jr., because there's one that escapes the law, and I could be wrong on who it is, but there's one who sort of pleased himself out here with the Knight of Cups. There is a woman who is extremely worried with the Moon and the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is already nightmare, and then you have Moon, which is like treachery and something underneath the water that you can't quite make out. And so there is a woman here who is like hair falling out, and then there's a guy here who can't seem to escape it with the Tower and the Four of Pentacles, the Five Cups as well. Like it's like written on the wall. He can't escape it. But the lady, I'm not sure, because she's still just worried. But she may be receiving news or a document, though. But that other one, which I think is probably Eric, he seems to plea himself out or escape it somehow.
Knock, knock, indictment. Which one should I choose first? One of the businessmen, so it's going to be something to do with Trump's business. One of them betrays, backstabs. So yeah, plane gets off the ground. Here comes Letitia James burdening a man. He's going to get a lot of attention on this. We're going to see quite a bit. It'll happen kind of at a surprising time, and he might spend a night or two in jail, like till they get bail money, because they got to raise the money for bail.
I have a question. Which one's the older one? Is it Beavis or Butthead?
I think Don's the oldest.
Don's the oldest. Because I got the lilies, the bouquet, the anchor. These are all positive cards. Something that has taken time. There's going to be some patience required. And then there's a happy gift here, and it sticks. And it's something to do with someone that was receiving gifts and securing stuff here and persistently getting gifts, but they've been doing it over a long period of time. And this may be in reference to one of the brothers that was one of the older ones. Because this is a man, King of Clubs. This is the Queen of Spades. So I got 2 characters here, but it's looking like this one, whoever this is. And I know that Letitia James already has Eric Trump. So that's Beavis, right?
Yeah.
She's got Beavis and crosshairs.
I've got backstabbing, like one of them's going to backstab. So let's ask, is Eric going to turn on Don Jr.? Because Don Jr. is the oldest. He's named after Daddy. Is Eric going to turn on Don Jr.? And
they were trying to, they were going after Eric, and Eric was like, I'm not following a subpoena. And then finally, now he's saying that he's pleading the fifth or something like that. So it's like he's refusing to testify or something like that.
Pleading the fifth you only do if you have something to say that will incriminate yourself. So, hello, I'm guilty of crimes. Yeah, I'm going to plead the fifth. Mm-hmm. I don't want to incriminate myself. Thank you, Dottie.
Thank you, Dottie. So let's see. What was the question, Jenny? Are they going to...
is Eric going to turn on Don Jr.? Because I got that backstabbing card. Like, is he going to say something on Don Jr. to... Like, he made me do it.
Like he used his brother for a plea deal. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Even the family is transactional. Jeez Louise.
I think Letitia James is going to get him in there to answer questions, too.
I'm getting that there's gifts here that have been kept quiet, and then there's a change. Someone changes something real quick. There's a change. So...
Yeah, I get all three of the kids have done sneaky stuff, but one of them is cooperating and telling on one of the other kids and comes charging in here. I get Letitia James asking all the questions she wants, and then he burdens Don Jr. And then the spotlight goes on Don Jr. Something about steady money where it came from.
I don't get a man in here. I pulled some more cards just to see if one would pop up. It's a woman that is implicated thanks to his testimony or thanks to his fatherly like brain to where he blurts out stuff he's not supposed to. And which is why people are telling him to plead the fifth, because if you don't say anything, then you cannot incriminate yourself. However, I think there is going to be proof of something, and even if you don't incriminate yourself, kind of like the Chris Christie Bridgegate thing, why all the people involved went to court and said they plead the fifth, they all went to jail anyway, because there was proof, not just evidence. There was proof of something. The Wheel of Fortune in the world means it's going to come out in time. So whether you plead the fifth or the 85th, you still are going to have to face facts when the facts come in. But there will be a woman, which is probably why I got that she's so worried. It is a blonde woman with the Queen of Cups. She is going to be implicated by her siblings, but there's three of them there. But she's going to be implicated by the siblings because, like the child said, she is a mini Donald Trump. So she probably broke every law but Jake Walker too.
Mm-hmm.
But I get her.
And it's funny too because, you know, they got Beavis and Butthead over there with the idiots of the family on national television. Well, yeah, we don't need to get loans. We get all of our loans from Russia. It's like, you idiot, you said the quiet part out loud. It's like they incriminate themselves just by talking. Like, oh, dear Lord. But, okay, so I had another question that was left on the comments. Will our mail-in ballots be counted?
Trashed or counted?
Will they be counted?
Thank you, Sunflower.
Thank you, Sunflower.
It seems this might be more of a regional question, but I do get a strong yes. But there might be places where corruption is just a little more rampant, and so you have to worry about that part. But I get the Empress and the Sun. That's like 2 yeses for me right off the back. The Ace of Pentacles, which is your votes in some cases, but it's a very, very small amount. There is the Devil attached to that. So, but here's the thing. It's not a takeaway. It's an add-on. So this could possibly be just manipulation of the numbers, like they did for the first election, where you don't need the popular vote. You need votes in places that have more electoral votes. So you can get, you don't have to win California, because what do they get, 2 electoral votes? But you can get Mississippi, which gets like 2 or 3, whatever, something stupid like that. So it's going to be one of them type of things to where there just want to be a manipulation of the numbers. But the plan here for the votes, the Page of Pentacles, the plan is sort of, it's in case. It's you can manipulate it, but this time it's going to be very hard because everybody in the world's watching. And everybody in the world knows he can't win legitimately. This is why he has the Joy and all these other people in his pocket to try to help him win. If you were, a viable candidate, you wouldn't need all this. So it's going to be security. Your vote will be counted, but in places there might be some manipulation.
I totally agree, Johnny. I'm getting like major manipulation. Like here's Trump. It's like I get a yes, our votes will be counted. Like good news, surprise. But there's manipulation. Some may be hidden also or disappear. But the manipulation is what I'm concerned about. Like changing the votes later, because I get a change, some sort of treachery going on. I get my Putin card, so like Russia possibly changing votes and somehow doing it like through the internet. There will be a lot of recounts, I think, and checking of it, because I get like a rough transition trying to hang on to all the votes. What are you getting, Becca?
I am getting that the authorities have secured something for it to be successful. So that would be like a yes.
I have a follow-up question.
What's that?
Will there be a lot of governors that request recounts for their states, or that want to look into election totaling or tallying for their states?
So the question
because
is,
the recount has to come from the candidate. So the candidate has to do the recount part. They have to pay for it too. But will any of the governors, like, just not necessarily naming any names, but just any of the governors want to investigate their state's election? That's what I guess the question is.
oh dear Jesus. I got a follow-up question with this one then, because I don't know if we read on it, because I had crossed it off when we were talking backstage. So I don't remember we read on it.
I get a yes. It's not a whole lot, maybe 10 at the most, but yeah, there will be a few people who want to investigate their state's election.
Yeah, I even get like a delay, like they're not accepting what's offered in the counts, and a little delay that getting cooperation. And there's my yes card for recounting, because they suspect there might be a manipulation. Recounting.
I'm getting the same thing. The rider, the fox, the whip. News or feedback of manipulation and fraud that causes arguing and fighting. Repetitive fraud here. And then there's growing confusion, growing problems as a result of that. So I don't know if these are like the red states or where this happens, because we didn't ask that. but like I said, buckle up, Buttercup, because it's gonna get nasty. My question to that, I don't think we've read on it, did we? Is Biden going to win the Electoral College? Did we read on that already?
I think a long time ago.
Yeah, let's look at it again because energy shifts. Thank you, John. Energy shifts. People have free will and stuff. So let's look at it again. Will he win the election?
The Electoral College. I'm gonna
Bye, John, as I like to call him now.
Yeah.
Will he win the Electoral College?
Joe Biden win the Electoral College.
Always good to check in every now and then when it comes to elections.
I get easily. So I get the Queen of Pentacles. That's my American card. Ace of Wands, which is a yes for me. Then there is the Seven of Swords, Judgment, or strategy that resurrects, or a new position for it too. But then I get the Four of Wands and the Two of Cups. So there is a new alliance in the White House. So yeah, I do get that he wins. I don't get that he has to fight for it too hard with the Four of Swords. So it's like a sort of an easy win. Even with all the attempted manipulation, I get that he will win.
Yeah, I get Trump as burdened, the sneaky one. He's the one that's burdened and watching the votes, watching and watching. But Biden, I get, he's the star. I get, yes, that he wins the Electoral College votes. But I do think something is going to go to court over it. So Trump will probably dispute it, try and block it, pulling his usual treachery. So I do get that Biden wins. It takes a little time because I think it gets disrupted a little bit because it ends up in a court case, just like Al Gore and Bush.
I'm getting, yes, he goes above and beyond and secures happiness. The central card here is the anchor. That's number 35. So I don't know if this is saying that because he goes above and beyond, he ends up getting like 350 electoral votes here, something like that. It's like he goes above and beyond and then he secures it here. But this is 35. So I don't know if it's like 350 or like in the 300s or so, but it's like he mops the floor with him. So, but still, for entertainment purposes only, people get out and vote.
I've got a question tagging onto that. Thank you, Summer. Just to back it up, will Trump's regime end on Inauguration Day? So the question is, I want to look at it is, will they all just flee their positions because they know what's coming, or will they stay there, during the transition and wait to be fired? Are they going to be ass and elbows booking out of there? Or are they going to wait to be fired?
So will Trump's regime run away, or how do I word this?
Will Trump's administration vacate their position?
Will they flee en masse, or will they wait to be fired?
Yeah.
Replaced.
Trump's regime is over.
His administration, if you want to call it that, I call it a regime.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
His clown car.
We'll
How many people can fit in that clown car?
We'll have to get a bus.
Yeah. That's fun. You know, the Eight of Wands traditionally depicts 8 wands flying through the air. It's movement. It's quick movement, fast movement. So that's why it's, you know, a card used for communication, because it's something that goes back and forth rather quickly. This one is very dark, but it shows sort of your A&E, your new A&E channel, Ass and Elbows. It shows a person running down the street like flying out of the way.
Looking at
A&E channel, I love it. I love
the new A&E channel. And it's all because there is justice and the Ace of Swords, and something new is coming through and coming in. There's a lot of thinking about it with the High Priestess here, because there's a lot of secrets, there's a lot of crap under the carpet. So they are afraid of judges, they are afraid of justice, they are afraid of clarity, truth, once somebody else gets in there to start uncovering things. So yeah, A&E for sure.
Yeah, it's like, oh, and thank you, June. It's like, oh, I've got a new perspective, you know, let's sneak away quick here, because we're probably all Trump's gonna end up in jail. We're all gonna end up in jail. Look, I've got a new job. Quick, run for the door. Ass and elbows. ending abruptly. Boom.
Yep, I'm getting it too. They take off. Ass and Elbows A&E channel. Be on the lookout. That's gonna be hilarious. Some of them may actually try to journey far. Or wait, this way. Journey far. Transition out of there. It's Ass and Elbows. So
A&E.
Pretty in the winter.
got a new name. A&E channel. Love it. Love it.
The latest on the A&E channel was what, Kellyanne Conway? She was the latest on the A&E.
Yep.
There'll be more.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So I have another question from the comments. Will the Biden administration finally address the water poisoning in Flint, Michigan?
Good question.
Because that's been going on for years now, years and years and years.
And it's not just Flint. You know, we have horrible water quality all across this country in places. My water quality here is undrinkable tap water.
And every time you get somebody running for president, they always talk about infrastructure. Infrastructure never comes. It never comes ever.
From nobody.
For nobody. Nope.
Or Republican. Nobody does infrastructure ever.
The Biden administration addressed the water poisoning in Flint.
So I get yes and no. You can bring it up and you can work with whoever, but it's a state issue. And that seems to be where they sort of leave it, is say it's the governor's, you know, problem to deal with local municipalities and blah, blah. I get the picture of Pentacles and the Lover's card. So there could be some sort of funding that is given to the state, but it's still with the Four of Pentacles and the Justice, it's still going to be down to local government. So they can address it, but they're not going to do anything about it.
Yeah, I get the same thing. Like, they're going to give some funding. Here's Biden. You know, his challenge is using his best judgment on this. There's so much anxiety around this issue. I get he is victorious in helping them move to higher ground, but he does it with a little different perspective. He shares some funding to help them move forward on the situation, to heal the situation. So somehow, you know, giving some funding. And I feel like some advice too, like giving them some advice from people in authority on water issues.
I'm getting that something will be in the early stages for a journey for someone that is friendly and loyal to him. So perhaps this is something that Kamala takes on, because it's showing something that's in the early stages of a journey for someone that's loyal here. So maybe that'll be one of her things, to go out there and try to fix. I don't know. So totally switching and shifting gears here. I won't say his name because his name does not deserve mentioning, but the 17-year-old white supremacist that just did what he did. This is a two-part question. What is going to happen to him? And then the other part of the question is, what happens to the cops? Because on the videos that were released, it shows the police giving him water, telling him, hey, what's up? Thank you for doing that, while they watched him kill people. He killed 2 people.
We're talking about the cops that watched this kid do the shootings. We're not talking about the cops that did the shootings of Jacob Blake, just to clarify.
Yeah. And his mother, from what I had read, his mother was the one that drove him down there and gave him. So what happens to his mom?
Across the state line, by the way.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
They weren't even from Wisconsin.
Nope. She got in the car. She drove him down there, gave him a gun, and let him go play toy soldier, and he ended up killing 2 people. So should we look at the mom first?
Let's look at the mom first, and then will the kid get charged as an adult and how that'll be handled, and then look at the cops that sat there and gave him water, let him go home, didn't arrest him till later.
Yep. Told him,
like,
thank you.
I'm waiting back here. Thanks for the water. I gotta go.
Yeah.
With my AR.
But they just sat there and watched him kill 2 people. That's mental to me. So what happens to his mom?
And I say it again and again and again. You are not tough. You are not brave to walk down the streets in a free country with a giant gun. Go fight ISIS and then tell me you're tough.
That's right.
He would shit his pants 2 seconds after being booted on the ground.
You are not tough. Go to that rally and start a fight without the gun and then tell me you're tough.
Ooh, Lord Jesus.
So with the mother, there is some heartbreak, but it's over the son and how this all went wrong very fast. I got the 6 of Wands and the Tower. This is her, I guess, elevation, authority, or whatever it is. Part of this is, I won't say her plan, but since she was aware of what he was doing, going to a crowded place with a gun bigger than he is, then yeah, you knew, and there's going to be some implication for you. If you are going to get a very harsh message about your son with the 3 of Swords and Page of Cups. As far as he goes, there may be people that even see this as harsh because he's going to get a very harsh sentence. Is just the word I keep hearing. I don't even want to say it that way because I think I am a proponent for the death penalty. You don't have to be, but I am. I don't think people like him should draw breath anymore, but that's just me. But he is going to get a sentence that is going to be looked at by some as harsh. As far as the cops goes, there will be some depositions and things of that nature. I don't, as somebody moves on, I don't know how many were there.
The cops? There was a whole bunch of them.
Oh, there's somebody here.
A handful, I think I saw on the video of them standing around talking to him, telling him thank you for helping us, blah, blah, blah. I think there was a handful that I saw.
There's one that moves on, at least one. I don't know if somebody gets singled out or what, but somebody does move on. There could have been 6 total. But yeah, she's going to suffer some heartbreak, and good for her. And he is going to suffer a tough judgment. We're going to say harsh. Tough judgment, good for him. And then there will be some cops that are depositioned.
Yeah, I'm not getting any legal problems for her. There's going to be more light shown on her. You know, I started out with the mom right here in the middle. The challenge is her kid. There's going to be talk about his childhood. So she's going to get a lot of media attention. But she climbs the higher ground. I guess she gets away with it. There is heartbreak for her. But I'm not, no matter how many cards I pull, it's the justice is more on the kid. So I'll look at the cops next.
Okay, let me bring you guys down. So I got the scythe, the child, the mountain, the whip, the snake, the woman, and the fox. A dangerous child here. That he's in a world of trouble. He did something here abusive, and then there's something here with this mom, because the question was, what happens to his mom? She may say that he lied to her. She's trying to be sneaky and manipulative and figure out a way around this. Because this is her sneaking around, being manipulative, sly, trying to be smart. And then this right here is talking about distance here. So perhaps lying about the weapons, lying about something. This right here with these, this is talking about manipulation in regards to weapons with the scythe, the whip, and the fox. This is manipulation, cunning strategy around weapons. The child here is abusive. There's an argument between the child and the mother, and then she's trying to be sneaky about it. So there may have been some sort of a fight between these two at one point, or there will be, but it shows her lying and then trying to like get out of it somehow. Oh man.
She gave him the weapon.
What's that?
She gave him the weapon.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So let's see.
Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you, Joanne. Are we looking at the cops next?
Yeah, I'm looking at the cops to see what happens with them.
And it's like with that scythe, whip, and fox, it's like she might be like, there might be weapons that she's sneaking around. Like she's sneaking them, like, how do I say this? There's weapons that she's sneaking. Does that make sense? Like,
maybe black market kind of.
There's something suspicious around weapons and her. She's doing something with weapons where she's like sneaking them around or hiding them or putting them under the radar. Something like that. There's something shady around the weapons and her.
I get the cops are fighting with the law here, but that someone of authority comes in, I feel like they just get a reprimand, and that makes everybody all emotional. Like they're waiting to see, what happens, but I don't get they go to court. I get like reprimand.
Let me see. Oh dear Jesus. I'm getting that there might be some cops that get in trouble. Let me see if I can bring you guys down. Okay, so I got the house, the snake, the child, the mice, the crossroads, scythe, and what do you call this? Mountain. Something domestic locally in their area. Lying about a child that was perhaps sick, or lying about a child that was stealing something, lying about a child that was anxious, anxiety, ill, and their choice here with something to do that was dangerous and not interfering, kind of stepping back and perhaps creating a barrier for that child. Domestic problems here at home. Something also here in regards to mountains of corruption. If this is in regards to the department, the entourage that they're a part of, corruption there and big problems. And then there's huge problems here around the child and the choices that were made in regards to the weapons and the danger that he caused, the strikes there. Lying, corruption, and then something gets suddenly lost. There's a loss here. This right here is a loss with the mice and the scythe. There might be a small number of them, but it's like there's a lie, corruption, and then something gets cut off and it's a loss for them. Which makes me wonder too, was it the sheriff or the the guy that oversees the police department down there was blaming the protesters for getting shot, not the kid that was running around the street shooting people. He was blaming the protesters. Like, that's crazy.
That's the Trump line. Thank you, Rose.
Thank you,
I have a
Rose.
question.
Yeah.
Can we do a spread on the mother and weapons and see what y'all get?
Okay. Oh, did you just do that one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah. The mother and weapons. What's going on with her and weapons?
The mother and weapons.
Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you, Catherine. You want to go ahead, Johnie, since you started it?
Well, I think she's either buying them or she's selling them. But there's like a transactional thing that happens, it seems to me. I get the 8 of, because she's not doing it anymore, because now she fears what's going to happen with that 4 of Swords, like it has stopped. 8 of Cups, or 8 of Cups in the Wheel of Fortune. But she made money off of it. Here at the 8 of Wands. This is a card I get for weapons when it's in large amounts. I get the Ace of Wands when it's like a single weapon. So there's 9 of Pentacles, a lot of money coming into a woman here. And then there's the Hermit as well. And then it ends in the Emperor. So either she was selling it as she was like the go-to for weapons that were uncommon, kind of like an AR-15, or she was sending them to people in organizations that were awful, like selling it to a clan or something.
Joni asked this because I'm getting that she is known for selling to kids. Thank you, Janice. I'm getting something about she is known like in the network, like she will sell guns to kids. Like, you know, here she is, that Republican mentality, happy family. She's doing something sneaky. You know, she makes very strategic decisions. She plans this. Her challenge is to end this quick, but it's worked for her. And I get that she's like selling it to kids that are bullies, the circle of support around them. So like other white nationalist kind of things. It's work.
Interesting. I'm getting the cloud, the mountain, the crossroads, stars is central to this reading. Coffin, snake, rider. There's something here online. They may find it perhaps in a server or in a computer. It's a black box that holds technology in regards to pathways, because ultimately she was the delivery person right here. There's something here. People may have had trouble because they were blocked from accessing stuff. So there was routes that were created perhaps online for avenues that had been previously closed off. And then she delivered lies and betrayal. Like it was like she was the delivery, the errand person here. And it has to do with something online. So I don't know if this is being literal, like a channel online, like 4chan or something like that. But I thought 4chan had closed. But it's something online that spreads, and they may find something in a laptop, a server. This would be like technology in a black box right there. And then she lies and changes stuff and then delivers it.
I'm going to re-ask my original question on her, because I don't think she gets in trouble for her son, but I think she gets in trouble for other kids that she's selling weapons to.
I get there's, and with both of y'all's reading, it's young boys, and it is possibly part of a group that is one of those. If they search his search history, they'll find he's part of some Knights of the Pluto Columbus something or
Proud Boys or something,
or Boogaloo Boys or something. It's like something on a network online. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
They're blocked by the government for their opportunity, so they can't go get the guns themselves. They can't go get something themselves. But there is still here with young erratic boys that is being manipulated by her. So I think, I don't know if she gets it for the son and then the son. I don't know. But there's something a little deeper there than just she drove him down.
Mm-hmm.
Because it ain't like you drove him somewhere and you can see this big giant ass gun in the car. So, yeah.
Yeah, I guess some kind of action gets taken against her for selling to minors somehow. I get a yes card on that, and she is manipulating her support. So somebody's going to talk about this, or they're going to find information about this. So to Becca's point, maybe online, she gets a court case over that, and that changes everything.
I mean, come on, you're the parent. You're supposed to be the one with the brain. What made you think, what possessed you to think that it would be okay to give your minor-aged son a weapon and drive him somewhere for him to go play cop?
Yeah.
That was premeditated.
With the weapon and
what is that, Johnny?
I get there are kids, plural. So here with the Seven of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. This is children with behavioral issues with the Page of Swords, but I got it's for the purpose of aggression with the Five of Wands and the Five of Swords. So yes, what I'm asking is something going to come out about her, and it is going to center around, again, I get the same two cards, Nine of Swords and Page of Cups. It's going to center around the son, and something is going to, she's not going to get in trouble for taking him there, but there will be something that ties her into what he did. And so that's part she is going to be investigated for.
It's grooming. There's pictures of him as a very young kid with major assault weapons and stuff. It's grooming the kids.
There it is.
So this, I think this. Go ahead, Jenny. I'm sorry.
She's not unlike Ghislaine Maxwell, purely for entertainment purposes only. YouTube, but she's a groomer. She grooms.
Yeah. So I think this is a good segue into the next question that was left. Will there be police reform? Because if there's anything, I mean, I forget his name because there's been so many. The little boy that was 12 years old playing in the park by himself with a toy gun, and the cop just drove up and lit him up like Swiss cheese. And then you have a 17-year-old white boy in a crowd shooting people. And then you had the white kid that went to the church and killed everybody, and then they stopped and gave him a burger. You know what I mean? Will there be police reform? It is so outrageous at this point that you can't you can't excuse it. You can't excuse it. You can't.
The racism is so in your face that I know there are good cops out there, but oh my gosh, it is so in your face.
One just resigned. I forget where it was. He just resigned because he had a racist rant at some black woman. And he resigned, but he is going to be kept on as contracted labor until September 3rd. It's like, okay, why?
Almost, they need to completely change the culture, because it's like you get that one bad apple and it kind of freaking just ruins everything,
It's crazy after Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd. They know people are watching, they know people are protesting, and yet, oh yeah, come on, little 17-year-old white boy with your gun that right in front of the cop cars just killed people. Come on down here. We'll give you some water. Go on home. Find your mom.
Yeah. And here's the other thing, like when we started seeing the protest against police violence, do you know how many videos and photographs were taken and they were plastered all over the internet of these cops throwing out white supremacist symbols, which I will not do here because it's not even worth it. But it's like they have a special symbol that kind of looks like the OK sign, which is a symbol for white power. And they're just like blatantly, like nonchalant, like, yeah, that's who we are. It's statehood lynching is what it is, Let me see.
My problem is okay, I did the reading, but I am jaded. So you can take this with a grain of salt, those out there. I do not believe the answer is yes to the question. Yes, there will be some police reform. However, I believe based upon even these cards, but what I believe here. 10 of Pentacles would be your government getting involved. And then there's the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups, I call the false knight simply because he doesn't do anything. It's all talk. And so it is going to look pretty. It is going to have a bill, and they're going to do a whole big this and a big that. And the problem I have is police reform on paper is one thing, but to get behind the blue wall is a completely different thing.
Mm-hmm.
There are great cops out there, I am pretty sure. And there are cops out there who they want to go home too. Like they go on these streets. We don't get to see the worst of society, but they do. And they have to see it. So I get what they go through. However, when something is wrong and they know it's wrong, they don't say anything because they're all behind the blue wall. And then the DA is also behind the blue wall because the DA needs the police officers for their investigations. They need cooperation from the police officers for their investigation. So you can't get a DA to willingly prosecute someone who just committed statewide lynching. But yes, it shows a yes. I get the Sun, I get the Six of Wands, I get all the good yes cards. But again, the reform needs to be behind the blue wall, not at the federal level.
Thank you, Dottie. I get like, where do you start? That's on the bottom. Like, where do you pick up? Where do you start with it? I do get like there is an action that's taken. I feel like the challenge is the unions, the police unions, because they're quite strong. But there are some changes that are made. I do get a yes card on that. And then there's disagreements and fighting.
Oh, Jenny, you froze.
Long time, so there's still sneaky stuff going on. No matter what you do, like some cops will end up getting cut from the force completely, but there's still sneakiness. They've got to change their mindsets. They've got to get in their heads and change their mindsets, and that starts with educating them about true crime rates and stuff, and not the garbage that they spout.
Making them into a field where it's like you're in there as a paranoid freak because everybody's trying to kill you, except white folk. White folk don't try to kill you. I'm getting that there's going to be huge problems here. A lot of lying in regards to money, but the money is lost and taken away and made smaller. So perhaps that's where they start. They start taking money away right there. So I don't know if this is defunding or what, but there's huge problems, and there's also corruption here in regards to funding too. Lies, money, corruption. Lies, money gets taken away, gets stolen, gets made smaller. So maybe that's what they do as an incentive, but this is two negatives. It's showing that doesn't even work. Like if they take away the money, that does nothing. It just creates another problem. So changing gears here. I don't want to get stuck in that rabbit hole because anyways. Why did the Russians want Manafort to pick Mike Pence as a VP? That was a good one.
Why did they want him to?
Why did the Russians want Paul Manafort to pick Mike Pence as VP?
That's a good question. Now, Mike Pence had made himself famous with his religious bill at around that time because I haven't heard of Mike Pence until then. So why him?
Huh.
First of all, he brings some balance to the ticket because as loud as Trump is, Pence is pretty quiet, right? Quiet and pasty white instead of orange. He's got his own circle of support here. They feel like he would bring some balance. But there's something that Mike Pence breaks with that's secret that they like. There's something that he breaks away from in our government that they like about him. So that was, the plan they got off the ground, and he's well liked by the Republicans also. But there's something that Pence breaks from. I'm trying to get what that is. What's he breaking from?
Thank you, Lynn. Lynn Tarot readings in here. Hi, Lynn. Hi, sweetie.
He breaks away from some of the traditional government norms, is what I'm getting, and the working across the aisle. He breaks away from that, so he's divisive, but in a different kind of way than Trump.
He's religiously divisive. What are you getting, Johnie? Just looks like he's asleep over there.
I had something weird. I get something weird. I get that one, he's supposed to add balance to the ticket because he's a normal politician, and he is religious, and that whole bit that works very well for the Republican base. Not to mention, he's pro this and anti that. He's all the pro that they like and all the antis that they like. He looks like a normal, regular old corn-fed white guy. He's not threatening to them, and they like him. On one hand, on the other hand, this is weird. So I take it with a grain of salt, though. I feel as though they've worked with him before. We just haven't seen it. I get the Knight of Wands and the Three of Pentacles. So there is some messages about actions, and then the Three of Pentacles hiring him for something, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles. There was a uptick in his finances from something that they have worked with him on before. I get the Empress and the Four of Pentacles too.
His brother actually sells equipment to Russia also, and Pence helped his brother get the contracts over there. So yeah, he probably was getting some kickbacks on that.
Because this was I have a spread where this part is the past, this part is the present, and this part is the future. In the past, I do get the manipulation and the star, so center of attention and the magician. So he worked with him before. They know him. He's not a stranger. And then on the bottom, I got the Chariot. So he is about momentum and victory. So he's not a stranger. They picked him because he's worked with them. That's what I.
What are you getting, Becca?
What is? I don't recognize it.
What's the first card?
The heart in the books. Loyalty and secrets.
Secret affair.
Oh Lord.
Oh, like blackmail?
Secret affair. There's something here in regards to perhaps some sort of a spiritual media. This would be like spiritual media records or something like that. Several records, several secrets, and then securing his happiness. But that's like the start of the reading. And this is not loyalty. This is love, passion, generosity, affairs.
But secret.
That are secret. And then there's several records that have secured happiness, but there's also something here about some sort of spiritual media records. Something that, was Mike Pence ever doing like a talk show or anything like that, where he had media for spirituality, where perhaps there's records there, there's mail, there's messages that he's
possibly his announcement of his religious bill.
But this is almost like at one point there was media here, like spiritual media that he was involved with, one way, shape, or form. And then there's records, several records around that about securing his happiness with somebody younger. But there's this.
Like Franklin Graham and those guys, like he was probably involved with those evangelicals.
But there's this. Yeah.
Well, that begs me to ask, was he having secret affairs in Russia?
Oh, they're saying, yeah, he had a radio show. See, it's like he did something on the media here for spirituality. And there's records of it. He hosted a radio. Yeah, everybody's saying he hosted a radio show. His state TV got shut down. Okay. There's something there about an affair, dude. I don't know.
He's got a pool boy too.
Probably does, just like what's his face over there. What?
Let
me see.
He got a pool boy and no pool.
So we call a gardener, honey. He had a gardener.
That's what mom's job's supposed to be.
He was there's a tape, I think. He's got a tape too, I think.
There's a record of him, dude. There's a record
in the world. There's a little rough fighting and somebody was a little tied up, a little bondage. And I get a yes that there's.
I'm going to ask it this way. I'm just going to ask it point blank. Did he have an affair? Because there's a record, dude.
He's having to defend himself from.
Which makes perfect sense because the Russians want somebody that they can easily.
They want compromise on everybody.
I got manipulation of the star.
Oh, yeah, he did. Oh, yeah, he did. It was cut off. It was something that he did while he was doing something spiritual here. And then there's your happiness, your pleasure, your joy. This is also the Queen of Spades there. I don't know if my camera's going to pick that up. This is a woman. This is a man. Something that was deeply rooted. Yeah, that's a yes. So I'm gonna just shut my mouth before I start writing all sorts of internet rumors for entertainment purposes only. YouTube. What did you get, Johnny?
Nothing. I don't want to say.
Come on, Johnny. Come on.
No. I'll leave it alone.
You're gonna leave it alone?
Yes.
Oh, well, that was fun. Okay, so
I'm gonna go have a Bud Light and do it again.
Oh Lord. Oh God, Johnny. Let's see here. So what happens in the United States between November 7th, 2020 and January 20th, 2020? So in that time when he knows he's lost, your eviction notice is coming.
So with Trump in particular, what goes on?
Well, it says the question was what happens in the United States. So I guess United States as a whole.
In general, in the whole U.S.
Mm-hmm.
My Sun card just fell out, which is joy, great joy. Like he's leaving. There's a lot of chaos. There's a lot of juggling. So the Trump supporters probably screaming and yelling, stomping their feet. I get that there's a cut by a foreign leader that makes everybody anxious. A separation of a foreign leader that makes everyone anxious. I know Japan's just announced that he's going to be leaving for health reasons, but he's waiting for a replacement. I don't feel it's him. I think there's another foreign leader that's separated out that makes everybody anxious, like there's some sort of instability going on, but it makes everybody here anxious. There's a lot of things that have been will be covered up for legal reasons, so be a lot of paper shredding, I'll put it that way. Destroying of evidence. There'll be more cooperation, and I feel like those are people that are changing towards Trump, so more cooperation, more people flipping. We're going to hear about more people flipping.
Mm-hmm.
The erratic behavior of his supporters. So watch for that. Protests.
I get the same thing. I get there is also a alliance here, and here with the moon card, some more information is coming out about that alliance between that in particular time frame. So November, December into January, there will be a lot more talks about influence and conversations that are had. There is some anxiety with the 6 of Wands around a leader of some sort. 9 of Swords, 6 of Wands. There's a leader that causes some anxiety, or it's anxiety around him or her. There's also a person who is trying to declare victory prematurely, here with the Ace of Swords and the 5 of Swords, but here with the Chariot, that would be your victory, but behind it is blocked. So something changes with that victory or that declaration. I also get that somebody is pushed out, here with the 5 of Pentacles. Right beforehand, somebody may get tickets to the park, but it appears to be self-inflicted. And so somebody may get a ticket to the park. And there will be a court case that comes out that will be it will be because of a coalition of people, kind of like if the NYAG and the SDNY and the ACLU and the ABCDEFG all got together and sued somebody, then there's a victory. So it's like a group, like a class action. Well, not class action, but a group of people bringing a suit. And so I see that as well.
I'm getting Becca.
So I got the sun, the garden, the bouquet, the dog, the book, tree, coffin, woman, mice. A happy organization, a successful organization, happy loyalist. There's a secret there, and something that was deeply rooted or that was growing shuts down, comes to an end, and there's a woman here that becomes quite nervous and anxious. There is illumination around something that takes away, illumination around thievery. Success gets eaten away. A woman in a network, a congregation, a party, depression, and something around growing loyalties here. But the right central smack dab in the reading is this: something classified, something secret. Or also perhaps someone that has knowledge of perhaps health that comes to an end or growth that stops. But whatever it is, it makes this woman here quite anxious and worried. So I'm just going to say that and leave it there. So, next question. And I think after that, I don't know how long we're going to take. Let's see. Biden and Harris are supposed to be going to Wisconsin this week. Will that be successful?
Yeah, they're going to Kenosha.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to reinforce Black Lives Matter. Unlike our thug president who says everything the opposite.
Yeah, he's going down there too to stroke.
And how come there's not good people on both sides?
What's that, Johnny?
I said, how come now there's not good people on both sides? Like there was in Charlottesville.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was in their speech, if it was Pence or who last week was talking about a cop that was shot in Portland, Oregon during the riots. But what they left out was he was shot by a white supremacist guy that was arrested. They gave half the story, but a cop was shot, during a protest.
See, Biden and Harris in Wisconsin this week will be successful. What are you getting, Johnny, since you're already so quick at drawing the cards?
I don't think there is necessarily something to be successful at. I think it's good for, I don't want to say it's good for image as trying to be dismissive of them going, because I think they are right to go. But because here's the sadness, and then the Eight of Cups searching for the new horizon, and then the Eight of Swords. This is going to be good for them, yes, but there's nothing to accomplish. He doesn't have that power. So there's nothing to really accomplish, but yeah, it's not going to be bad for him.
No, I get he's like just being kind of practical. He and Kamala, like he's going as the practical king. She's going as the practical queen. To do their little speech and to talk about opportunities for growth. They're going to talk about, the fighting and those who feel trapped. But I'm getting what they're talking about. They'll talk about the burden and the heartbreak.
So I'm getting the garden, the whip, the man, dog, and the scythe. He's going to an area where the community is fighting. There's a lot of fighting, arguing, anger, backlash, criticism in this community, criticism towards him as well. And then his loyalty gets cut, or him and his friend, and then there's danger. Either way, there's a cut and a separation and danger here at the end. So I'm just going to leave it there.
Put a white bubble around them both, guys.
Yeah, please do. Everybody get on that, light candles, all that stuff. And finally, my last question before we move on to the funny stuff. What will the Biden administration do to help heal the race divides that Trump has just stoked in this country as a way for him for his own political gain? So what will the Biden administration do to help heal the racial divide and the racial tensions in this country?
That was a funny thing Mitch McConnell also talked about in his speech, was that the Dems are going to pack the courts. Well, what did he do? That's the first thing they got to do is unpack the courts.
Yeah.
Right, Arty?
I bet you half of those judges got a license at Trump University. So
So I get there will be some people in the administration to sort of represent other groups, especially marginalized ones. The Knight of Swords and the Six of Pentacles, so there will be some sort of a plan to incorporate those who do not look like Joe Biden. However, with the Six of Swords and the Two of Cups, healing race relations is our responsibility and not his administration's. Because his administrations can put anything into place, just like the Civil Rights Movement. But if you hate your neighbor, what is that going to do for either one of you? So healing race relations depends on you and those in your community. So they can do whatever it is they're going to do, but it still starts with those on the ground.
I get one of the first things he's going to move in on, moving forward on, are the ones who are getting sick from COVID, because we know it affects minorities quicker. Then he's going to do that rather quickly. So whether it's getting supplies to the communities, it looks like he puts Kamala in charge of this. And then I get jobs creations. I get the courts, address the courts, and then come up with a transition team that can provide steady flow of money to the communities that need it. We're going to have to be patient with him because he's got a lot of details to work out around it. He seems to have some sort of strategy for getting people back to work.
I'm getting the tower, the garden, dog, house, tree, letter, and storks here. Institutions that are public from people that are in that area that have made that their residence. There's growth here to change laws. So if this is in regards to, excuse me, institutions, meaning you're locked up in jail, there's changes there. There's changes in records, changes in laws here, and improvements. So perhaps people that have been thrown into the slammer for some bull crap, usually because our laws are designed to target minorities anyways, those get changed and there's a release. There's an improvement there. Public records get upgraded and changed. Public documents, public mail. It's all around this institution that is public here. So like a jail where people go to live. Large communities where people are institutionalized and living. That has been deeply rooted, and those things get changed.
Prison reform.
Prison reform, yep. So that's everything that I had, and I didn't know if you guys wanted to ask a funny question. So
I got one question.
All right, let's do them both. Because we need a laugh. I know I do.
I don't have it's not funny, but it's not dark either. Sarah Palin is suing the New York Times for libel. Because they, back in the day, connected her to the Gabby Gifford shooting. Because she put Gabby Gifford's picture online with crosshairs on it. And so they connected her to that, saying basically this is why it happened, because of you. So they had to print some sort of retraction back in the day, and then Sarah Palin's case was dismissed. But right now, her lawyers have now brought it back because they say she was not able to gather evidence from the other side or see evidence from the other side. So her case was sort of not illegally, but I guess I'll say illegal for lack of a better word, illegally dismissed. So she gets to bring it back up. Will she be successful in her case and suing the New York Times for libel? Libels written, slanders spoken.
Not taking any responsibility for her actions and putting a photo out there with crosshairs on it.
And then the article I read said Sarah Palin, the governor of Arkansas. It's like, let's just get everything wrong. Former governor of Arkansas. Unless she was the former governor of Arkansas, and I don't know it, but you betcha.
You betcha. I love Tina Fey's impersonation of her on Saturday Night Live back in the day.
I get a no. No, her power is small. She's being childish, inexperienced, and stupid, and she's trying to change some or manipulate something here. It's like no. It's like a power play or something. Yeah, no.
Yeah, she's out in the cold on this. I get she's watching and waiting. Her challenges are family, and she's watching and waiting for money. Her challenges are family, and she's going through a rough patch. She's going through a rough transition. So I feel like she also needs some money. And here's the courts. She's sitting nervous. She's fighting and bickering. Yeah, I don't think she's gonna get it. Heartbreak. She might get an out-of-court settlement. Would be all she would get.
But it's small though. Whatever she gets is small. Like if she's thinking she's going to get like $28 million, it's like, no, honey, here's 25 cents. Like,
She wins something, but it's not money. It's more than likely apology, retraction. They already retracted. So there is no, I don't understand. But here is the New York Times or the case against them with the Knight of Pentacles or something we brought out. There is going to be some surprise information. It's going to be a big surprise here with the Page of Cups and the Tower. So there is going to be some disruption in the structure because the reliability is the Knight of Pentacles. There's going to be some disruption in the structure. And so then you'll have the Ten of Pentacles and the Justice. Somebody just might get fired, but I don't see her getting no money because I clarified the Justice card and I get Hierophant, the Ace of Cups, or the Ace of Swords, Ten of Cups. So there's no money. So she's not going to get a monetary judgment if she wins anything. But at the most, somebody just might not have a job. That's at the most is what they can hope.
She can wave at Russia. She can sit there and wave at Russia. Putin, send me some money.
I'm still your girl.
So what was your funny question, Jenny? I'm sorry I didn't have any.
Okay, our last question. Will there be any movies made about Jerry Falwell and his wife and the pool boy? So in particular, what a great storyline for a porn movie, right?
So for those of you guys that don't know, Jerry Falwell Jr. is he a televangelist or an evangelical televangelist?
He was just a leader of Liberty University.
Well, he was a TV televangelist too, but he was president of Liberty University, son of Jerry Falwell Sr., who was also a TV evangelist.
And so recently there's been a scandal with somebody coming out saying that, he was having risque relations with Falwell and his wife at the same time. So then he quit, and then he didn't quit, then he quit, then he didn't quit, then he quit again, then he was fired, but then he didn't. It was a whole saga over the week. It was like, just make up your mind.
For those who remember back in the 90s, Johnie and I remember this, Tammy Faye Baker and Jim Baker, after they split up and after he went to jail for years and stuff, there was a movie made about their life.
Oh Lord. So let's see.
He's still breaking the law.
It's going to be a movie about Jerry Falwell and his wife and the pool boy. I'm kind of like, maybe not be enough to tell, because he's not going to jail or anything, but yet anyway.
Oh Lord. It's always those holier than thous that want to be judgy on everybody, that are like the ones with the dirtiest secrets.
I said it. If you just didn't walk around trying to judge everybody else, then would nobody care?
Nope, nobody would care. Nobody would care. But you made a life of ripping other people down. So good on you, times 10 for getting what you're getting.
And the claim was by the pool boy that Falwell was tied up.
Well, there was that picture of him and his wife at that. Did you see that picture where she's like in these like ripped up shorts? And I'm just gonna shut up. Go ahead, Jenny.
The challenge will be casting the woman. That will be the challenge. But there's already a plan in the ethers. So, because somebody thinks this will be a strong project, I get they've already secured the male, the who's going to be the actor for Jerry Falwell, but they haven't found who's going to play the female lead. But yeah, I get working together and showing the sneakiness and all the regrets, and there's the pool boy. It's like it's already in the works, like in the near future. This will be on some sort of media.
Like the award shows for the
like the internet or something, or rent to
film industry.
It's gonna come out rather quickly, so I would say it's probably leaning towards
a yes,
an X movie as opposed to like an R movie.
What are you getting, Johnny?
Same thing. There's a man here. There's another one here tied up. There is one that's in control. There might be a some role playish stuff type going on, which could be them, or it could just be other people doing their role for them. It is not a. You won't see this on Disney Plus. I'll say it that way.
This is gonna be X-rated, I think.
So yeah, they're casting already.
I'm getting that it's going to be the talk of the town. I got the garden, the birds, and the moon. So this is going to be the talk of the town. This may be something also within a community that organizes and markets stuff. So I don't know if this would be like a Netflix or an Amazon Prime special or HBO special or a Showtime special. But this is saying, yes, there's going to be something made about the couple here. The birds is usually in regards to an older couple. Okay, an older couple here doing something outdoors in the park, okay, and it's going to be the talk of the town, and it's going to be mass marketed and put on all over the media. So yes, it might have several avenues: X-rated, not X-rated.
Because they can still do documentary on the rise and fall of Jerry Falwell.
Yep.
Liberty University.
Yep. It's going to be the talk of the town. Well, thank you, everybody, for stopping by tonight. And thank you, Johnny and Jenny, for reading with me tonight. And thank you to everyone for all the super chats. Thank you to our Arty, who made an appearance, my little boyfriend.
And now he's gone.
And if you guys could, please light a candle and put some prayers out there for Biden and Harris this week. And also for our sweet Johnny, to keep him calm and safe while he's awaiting his stuff. Do not give him a hard time that you can't hear him, you can't see him, blah, blah, blah. He's in the middle of a move. So be patient with that.
And, we'll be on Johnny's channel next week, so hopefully he'll get his computer before then.
Yeah, so send out your angels and prayers and all that stuff so Johnny can get his equipment quickly and easily with no more headaches. So Johnny's channel next week. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Johnny. See you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.